Kill Cliff Mango CBD.
And now, Hillcliff, the clean energy drink, presents Because We Can, starring John Brinkus. It's the show where we do whatever the hell we want, because we can. Tonight, another amazing show. And now, here's your host, John Brinkus.
All righty. All right. We're outside of the quarantine, and I've moved down to Georgia where you don't have to wear a mask, but I'm just playing it safe. So I'm wearing a mask just to be safe that nothing can be transmitted. Welcome to another edition of Because We Can. We have an amazing show. As you heard from our open, it's another amazing show. So let me go ahead. And since I didn't know who was going to be on the show until like 10 minutes ago, let's introduce our whole cast that we got. First and foremost, we've got Wes Johnson. Wes Johnson, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, John, and I'm ready to go all night with the Ignite.
All right, that's pretty good. We got, of course, we have Dan Holloway. Dan, how you doing?
I'm horrified, John, at the way your face looks right now. That's how I am. It's every week. It's some new horror for me. I don't know if you're trying to like activate my PTSD or what's going on here, but it's working.
I don't know why. I don't know why you're so horrified by this. Honestly, I think it actually makes me look a little bit better.
No, you look great.
That's just me.
You look great.
Of course, we've got G-Dub. GW, say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody. I was in Dan Holloway's camp on the face thing there, but it's actually kind of an upgrade. It's growing on me.
I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. And we've got some very special guests here tonight. We're going to start off with, we had him on last week. We had on Vitaly Beckman, master magician. Vitaly, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you guys again. I had a great time here last week. And where's the little kid that was here before?
The little kid? He's coming up later.
Okay.
He's coming up later.
Okay.
Which
so
is good.
So
Herbert, go full screen on me because we have a special guest tonight who is an amazing comic. And I made a little intro for him. Let's see if I can get this to work. That was the sound. So let's see the picture of it, which is pretty cool. Here we go. Ready? Let's look at this. Let's look at this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Adam Ferrara.
Live from his stoop.
Yes. Thank you so much for the stripper music, John. Good to see you. It's nice to be
Yeah,
on.
it looks good. You're just hanging out. It's a summer night. Just hanging out on your doorstep.
Just sitting out on the stoop. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. It's my first time here. Thank you for having me over.
Welcome, Adam.
Wes, you're going to be up.
That's
I saw
right.
you were drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And we also want to introduce, so we got our favorite voice, a voice from heaven. Honestly, she has become one of my absolute favorite musicians. It's the one and the only Molly Brown. Molly, say hello to everybody.
Hi guys, how are you?
Awesome. I just want to remind everybody how incredibly talented you are. Can you just cue up 30 seconds of something awesome to lift our spirits, to set the mood?
No pressure.
Yeah, no friggin' pressure there, John. Well, you always
That's
say
right.
like like Mary Had a Little Lamb is the closest thing. So God forbid I'm going to do it. Mary had a little lamb, oh, little lamb. That's all I'm doing. That's pathetic.
What's incredible about that is, was that an original?
No, sir.
I guess, Mary, you didn't write that one? That's good. So, listen, I want to start off with Vitaly. Vitaly, last week you gave us an amazing illusion. I want you to sort of kick things off here for us. And let me see what you got this week.
Sure. I prepared something that I did on television once, but I want to have as many of your guests involved. So perhaps let's do it this way. You're going to start, John, and then I'm going to have you to think of something or make a choice. And when you've done that, you're going to select another guest. And the same thing we're going to do with another guest. The guest will make a choice, and then he will appoint another guest. Okay? And hopefully we'll cover as many of the guests as we can. We'll see how far we can go. Okay? Now, before we do that, I want to show you, I got some fruits here. I'm going to show you my couch. So here we got some fruits. And okay, so John, I would like you to select any of these fruits, whichever you select. I'm going to place it on this little plate, whichever you like. We got an orange, a plum, pomegranate, and a green apple. Your choice.
All right, green apple.
A green apple. So we'll place it right here. Okay, and let's select another guest.
Okay.
Me.
Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, Adam.
Adam.
Okay.
Adam, please select one. Also, orange, plum. But how do you say plum or plum? Plum.
Plum.
Plum. So which would you like, or a pomegranate?
I'm gonna take the plum, and you should
plum.
on the
Now,
couch.
would you like me to place it to the right or to the left?
Place it on the left, please.
On the left, on here.
Yeah.
Okay, and select another guest. Anybody you like. Let's
Molly, pick a fruit.
I will go for
Which one?
the orange.
The orange. And Molly, where would you like me to place it? To the front or to the back?
I'm going to say front.
The front. Okay. I would like you to select another guest. Another guest. And this time, who would you like?
Pick. Why don't we pick
Wes?
Dan the man?
Dan, are you there?
I'm always here.
Okay, Dan, I don't see you, but I want you to tell me if you want us to do any changes, any swaps. For example, if you want, you can swap these two fruits, the orange and the apple, or these two, any swaps at all. Or you can leave it the same, Dan.
I'll leave it the same.
You're going to leave it the same. Okay.
Yep.
And could you select another guest quickly? Who?
Sure. Let's go with GW.
GW, where are you?
I'm here.
Okay, good. GW. So Dan kept it the same, but we also left out the pomegranate. Would you like to swap the pomegranate with any of these fruits? Totally up to you. Or you can keep it the same.
I'm gonna roll. Let's roll it the same, man. I'm feeling hot streak here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the same. So we're keeping it the same, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I used to create arrange fruits like that when I was a kid, and then I used to paint it. And then when I got start to do magic, I start to do things with playing cards. So let's see, I got a playing card, a deck of cards actually here, and I want you guys to see that all the cards here are different. Let me know if you guys can see this on camera. Yeah.
Yep.
All the cards are different, and is there anybody who hasn't participated?
I have.
Yeah, we had Wes.
Oh,
Wes hasn't done something.
Wes, okay, perfect, Wes. So this is great. Wes, I'm just gonna go like this with the card. Just say stop as my thumb is on one of these cards.
Stop!
Right here. Okay, Wes, I want you to remember the card. And actually, I'm allowed to see it. So this is the King of Hearts. We're gonna place it right here on this little envelope. So we made an arrangement of fruits and a playing card, or art and magic. And what I do, I oftentimes mix art and magic. So this little envelope was sitting here the entire time. And any further change, if you would have made any changes here, or if you swap, for example, the pomegranate with the orange, but you didn't, or if it was a different card, Wes, what you're about to see here would not be possible, because this envelope was sitting here all this time. There is nothing else in this envelope. And this picture is kind of like the picture I did when I was a kid. But in a way, you all helped me make it. Because look, right here, we've got a picture of a pomegranate. And then we've got a playing card, which is the King of Hearts. And of course, we got all the other fruits.
What?
Wow.
Sorcery.
You know,
Exactly.
if this was the 17th century, we would be crushing you with a giant rock right now, my man.
I wouldn't be talking to you if it was the
Torches, the whole bit.
All right. If you sink, you can live.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Those
guess
are Monty
that's
Python
the
rules,
story.
right? I think.
Yes.
Thank God we're on the laptop. And now, normally I would do this in person, and you would actually take the fruits and you would place them, arrange them anywhere you want.
Mhm.
And this is kind of a way to do this with social distancing.
Adam, what did you just think of what we just saw here?
What I think I thought that was pretty cool. I think Molly's got a great voice, and I've done nothing with my life. Thanks for inviting me, John.
Listen, I know when we spoke earlier today, said only talented people can come, but this is that was some wicked talent.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Vitaly, and you just whipped that up like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just made also another version I can show you, but in my theater show, I made a big painting, big oil painting. And there's like a big watermelon, pineapple, and people arrange it anywhere they want, and it's all in the painting.
Mhm.
So,
That is amazing.
I did. I opened for a magician. I opened for a hypnotist in Brooklyn, and the guy couldn't put anybody under. He's on stage waving the watch, and people like this going, "Oh, jeez, I hope I don't fall asleep over here." And the guy came in the back. I ran a plug. His name was Rocky. He goes, "Get up there! I'm giving him the hook."
You should have gone on stage and helped.
I had to go back up, Vitaly. You got to hypnotize people in Brooklyn. It's a two-man gig. One guy waves the watch. The other guy hits him in the back of the head with a hammer.
I've seen that happen. I don't think it's a good idea.
I love that. So, Vitaly, I asked you to prepare a trick about literally a half hour ago. You came through big time. Is that the one trick for tonight, or did you have a second one?
Yeah, that's the one, because I have to go. But I'd love to come back and do something else next week.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, I want everybody to give Vitaly a hand because that was pretty amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Well done.
And now it's time for Vitaly to disappear.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
There he goes.
so much.
You good, pal?
All right.
Yeah, bye, Adam.
So-
Bye, everybody.
All right. So listen, Adam, thank you so much, Vitaly. Adam,
Yeah.
I wanted to play a clip from you, and I want to, you obviously are known all over the world. You're on one of the most famous TV shows, Top Gear, right?
Yeah, we were on the U.S. version of the English show. It was a lot of fun.
And it was a lot of fun. And one of the most famous episodes you had was one when you destroyed a Cadillac.
Yeah.
I think I got the right clip. I wanted to play the clip, and I wanted to get your commentary.
God, am I nervous. This is quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever done. I'm off-roading in a battleship with a trunk full of moonshine, listening to two guys I can't trust. Going in, kid.
Okay, Adam, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's taking the grass!
Oh no! Oh my gosh, he's going to wait! He's going way too fast! How is it possible he's still going? Oh, through the water splash. Oh, man. This is where he gets stuck. Oh, he goes over the water. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, he almost rolled it. Oh, come on, Adam. Throttle. Oh, throttle. This is gonna be so bad. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Adam! Dude, the car is bent. Look at it. Look at it. It is like a canoe right now. Oh! Stop it! The clock! How did that just happen?
Oh, was that fun? That's my baby! That's my baby!
So that clip is a legendary clip. Adam, give us a little bit of insight on that. What was going through your mind?
First of all, I forgot how stupid I was. That was actually, guys, that was our first episode we ever did on the road. We did one little one up here, and that was the first trip we took. And that was a 76 Coupe de Ville. That thing weighs, I don't know, maybe 5,000 pounds. It was on Spalding tires, no safety equipment in it. Basically, Tanner Faust, the little guy that was wearing plaid, the guy without the beard, he's a race car driver and a stunt driver. So he took the shoulder belt, he pulled it back, he put it under the headrest, slammed the headrest down, tapped me on the helmet, went, you'll be fine. So if you listen,
does this go into the file of not terribly well thought through?
Yeah, I didn't think about anything. I knew I had to carry momentum because that thing's so heavy that as soon as I hit that water, I was going to die. So I had to hit it hard. I don't think I ever got out of second gear, but I was just pinning the thing. And I downshifted in first. I pushed it up in a second. I just stayed there the whole time. And if you listen closely, when I'm in the air, we shot it in North Carolina. If you listen closely when it plays back, you hear a guy in the woods going, yeah, as I'm flying through the air.
Amazing.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So now you finished that shot. You finished that show.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are just at the very beginning of launching this. Do you have any idea that this would become like an iconic clip on the internet?
No, I had no idea that was going to happen. And that one and the Pegasus one, I put a hang glider on a Mustang and I tried to fly it off a cliff in the Grand Canyon. So that one went up there as well. Tanner Faust is a world-class medal-winning rally driver and stunt driver. So a lot of the clips he did is just really serious driving. Really went viral on the internet too. And it was a lot of fun to do. I mean, just to be able to rip up cars and do that stuff with your friends. I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful I'm still alive.
Adam
Yeah.
Ferraro.
Dan, I know you're a big fan of Adams. What questions you got for him about Top Gear, that clip?
Well, I mean, look, I don't know if this is really a question so much, but those old coupes are basically like the Midwesterner of cars, right? So they're big, a little bit bigger than usual, not very flashy, but they've got really thick ankles. You know, they're going to get you to where you need to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I bought the piano car from the show, which was a 70 and a quarter. It was a 70 Buick Electra 225, and it's 18 feet 5 inches long. I got 3 garages in my house. It doesn't fit in any of them.
That's amazing. I love it.
You
I
want
like
a real
that.
dangerous stunt, one of those things, try to parallel park in it.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's a coupe. It's the same size as the sedan. It's a coupe. And I live out here in California, and there's no catalytic converter on it because it's 1970. I split the exhaust, so I got 2.5-inch pipes coming out, and it just yeah, this big cam is rolling around. Everyone's in electric cars looking at me like a pubic hair on the soap.
Well, look, you're a Brooklyn guy or a New York guy, rather, living in California anyway. You're going to get some looks. By the way, you might be the most appropriately named human being for your accent and personality that I've ever known in my life. Like, just say your own name out loud for the audience, right quick.
Adam Ferrara. Adam Joseph Ferrara.
Yeah, I mean, is it getting more perfect than that? Come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's being in New York, being out here, because when I say out here, I mean California. It's like I like to drive, and they can't. A guy, when I was right before the quarantine hit, a guy in a Prius cut me off, gave me the finger, and he had a coexist bumper sticker on the back of his car. Yes, like great. We're all one, but I'm first. Great.
Awesome. Molly, you guys live down in Nashville, and there's an awful lot of yeehaw down there. What do you think about Adam's little trip in the caddy?
I think that's hysterical. I'm surprised that you held out for as long as you did, and that's not meant to be an insult or anything. Like, you were really getting rocked around in there. Good for you.
Yeah. Actually, Molly, they were in the trunk. That was we were tracing the roots of NASCAR, which started as moonshining. So in the trunk there were like 4 cases of moonshine. Not one of them survived.
Good God. Actually, funny thing about NASCAR really quick, if I can just tell like a brief personal thing. This weekend, actually tomorrow, I was actually supposed to be singing the national anthem at one of the biggest NASCAR races of the year in Sonoma, California, at the Sonoma Raceway. And it got canceled due to COVID. So I'm a little bit bummed about that, but I'm glad that I can at least be here with you guys, right?
Yeah.
We're glad to have you. I gotta tell you something.
awesome.
Watching you drive like that, I haven't seen driving like that outside of valet parking ever.
Yeah, you just had to hit it and hold on in a car like, because that was, first of all, that car, it was a 76 Coupe de Ville. That's the last of the big caddies, because in 77 the Sevilles came in, so they were a lot shorter. 77 was a lot of changes. That came in, Star Wars came out, and Elvis died on the toilet.
It's a big year.
Big year.
Yeah, it's a big year.
They're all big roads.
I think the Dodgers
Now-
won the World Series that year too.
That was the
Exactly.
Yankees World Series.
Oh, it's the Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, everybody asks you the question of what was your favorite episode? So I'm not going to ask that question. I'm going to say, what was your second favorite episode?
Ha, that was good. Man, John, there was so many. We got to do so much. They flew me to Germany.
Yeah.
They put me on the Autobahn. They gave me the new Lamborghini Huracan the year it came out, and they said, go. So I got to go. I did 173 on an open road. That is stupid. Just stupid. I did 180.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, I did 108. The fastest I've ever gone. I've never gone 200 miles an hour, even though I was in a 200 mile an hour car a couple times. I was in a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. It's about a 212 mile an hour car. I got it up to about $188, but it was on a causeway in Utah. So it wasn't a manicured runway that we usually do speed runs on. So I got my butt sensed a little speed wobble around 188. I went, it's fast enough. I can't. Because as soon as something goes bad, around $140, the car starts getting light and starts coming up off the suspension. And then after that, any sudden move is death.
It says so in the manual.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you know what else was cool? They took the 66, they took the GT40, the race car, they took it out of the museum, and I got to drive it, the actual right-hand drive. They used it at Le Mans. I only drove it 8 feet, but I drove it because they don't let you drive it around. Hey, a walk's as good as a hit.
So it's funny. My dad owned an auto body shop when I was growing up, and he worked on the Ferrari from Magnum PI one time. One of the Ferraris they used in it. So I was a teenager. I drove it around town a little bit. He didn't know about this, obviously, until years later. But I noticed like 2 weeks afterwards, my shorts started getting shorter, and I started to develop a mustache. It was really weird.
That was the 308 you had?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite cars. By the way, a minivan can outrun that car.
These days, yeah.
Yeah, these days,
Yeah,
a
for
minivan
sure.
can outrun that car.
That's awesome.
Was there
That's awesome.
anything you were surprised that you survived on that show?
Yeah, it was a couple of things. I was well, first of all, that jump was okay. That car saved my life on that jump. I wrecked. I made a Pope Mobile out of a 69 Lincoln Mark III. So I cut the roof off of it, made an open chauffeur's compartment. I put a big plexiglass bubble on it like the Pope, and I picked up Cloris Leachman and I drove it to the Emmys in it. So we had to see how we could maneuver everything because it was a limo episode. So I had to go through cones and stuff, and the accelerator hung. So I couldn't, it just kept going. And
That's
I had to make a
crazy.
choice. I mean, I'm either going to hit the airplane hangar or I'm going to hit the 190, the little Mercedes that Tanner had. I chose the Mercedes. So I got, boom, hit it in the trunk. It crushed the trunk up to the C-pillar like this. And the front of the Link was just like, this is like the buzzing of flies to me. Nothing. Nothing. I cracked the grill and one of the headlights was bumped, but the body was fine.
Are you saying that Cloris Leachman revved your engine?
That's what I'm saying. She frowned, look at me.
That's a pretty big flex, though. If you
hilarious.
just had a Pope Mobile and drove it, had somebody drive you around town all day, that's one of the biggest flexes of all time, maybe.
Yeah, she was great, Cloris. So I had a pool ladder, Daniel, so she could get up into it, and she couldn't make it up. So she goes, just pick me up and put me in there. And I'm picking her up, and I'm thinking, oh man, I better not break this woman's hip.
Can you imagine being the guy responsible for Cloris Leachman's death after all that time? Yeah,
That's
no
what
way.
I'm thinking as I have her in the air, Danny. Now you're here to help me. So she gets in the thing, and I had a piece of 6-inch flex tube that we use for duct work, and I had it running underneath the car. I cut a hole in the floorboard, and you could talk to me. That was the communication system. But you can only talk to me on a right turn because when it went straight, it would rub against the drive shaft, and I couldn't hear anything. So she's like, what do you want me to do? I said, just yell at me. So she's cursing at me through this tube. She's just yelling and just screaming obscenities at me through this tube.
You're a lucky
That's
man.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to know, Adam, when you jumped the caddy and you landed, you said that the car saved your life. What went on inside the car? It seems like you almost shot it pre-GoPro or something because there was no GoPro shot of what went on with you.
The first impact, the GoPro fell off with the suction cup GoPros.
Yeah,
you pump them up. So we had them pumped. We put them in there. John, nobody knew I was going to do this, including me. So it's not like we were prepared. This was the first time I made the call home to my wife saying, "Honey, I wore a helmet." So because I knew she was going to see it. So
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
The GoPro took a dump on the first impact, and the only other shot we had is the one in the back where you saw me just kind of hustling the big girl over. They were all worried I was going to roll it when I went up on the hill because that was close.
What's the story of how you became the host of that? I mean, why were you the perfect fit for it?
Well, Rescue Me, I was on another show called Rescue Me, and we were doing the Rescue Me comedy tour. So we were on a tour bus. It was me, Lenny Clark, Dennis Leary, and the band. And Dennis pulled me and Lenny aside on the tour bus and said, "Listen, what do you guys think about doing 10 more episodes and ending the show?" And Lenny and I went, No, we don't have any Ice Age money, you skinny Irish bastard. Think of us. So he did 15 more episodes. We cut it into 2 seasons, and you know this business, boys and girls. We dance with the music's playing, so I gotta get another job. So I like cars, so I did this little show for the History Channel that was about cars, but it wasn't Top Gear. They didn't like the show. They liked me, and they said, "We have the rights to Top Gear. Are you familiar with the show?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "We want you to be on it." I said, I don't want to screw it up." She goes, "Well, we don't want you to do an impression of those guys. We want you to meet the guys, and maybe if you get along, you could be on it." So I met the guys, and I liked the guys. I liked the cars, and they wanted to do an original episode, not to imitate those guys. So I said, "Yeah, I'll take a shot." And I'll be honest with you, we got lucky. The chemistry was there. We got along, and we had a great run.
You just
That's incredible.
Yeah, sometimes you hit it right. You know, I wish I could say it's because I did this. I got lucky. That's all it is.
That's awesome. Hey, Adam, I want to make sure that you're able to plug. What are all the projects that you're working on? Because you always keep yourself busy. You're always inventing and creating stuff.
Yeah, usually, well, hopefully when the world opens up, Molly's going to get to sing at NASCAR, and I can go back to club. So I'm going to repost my tour schedule. In the meantime, my podcast is called The Adam Ferrara Podcast. 30 minutes, you'll never get back. I've had who's been on? Jay Leno, Kevin James, Edie Falco. Joe Buck is on next week. Aisha Tyler just dropped today. And there's a bonus episode with Allison Elwood, who directed Laurel Canyon, which is the documentary. It's on Epix. She also did the Eagles documentary. Who do I got coming up? I got Richard Hammond from the original Top Gear is coming up as well. So I appreciate if you guys got the time. Check it out.
Yeah, make sure everybody downloads this your podcast. 30 minutes you'll never have back, right?
Yep.
That's awesome. Adam, listen, I know that you had to go early. You said that you couldn't stick around. I wanted to go over to Molly Brown to play a song. If you want to stick around and listen to A Voice
that
from
I'm
Heaven.
staying for. That after
you're going to listen
I heard
to this.
Mary Little Lamb, I would have left. But hearing the voice, I'm not missing out on this.
Yeah.
But do you have Molly? What do you got for us? Because this is Adam has not heard you, and I'm telling everybody, Molly Brown is going to be a giant star. She is so ridiculously talented. She's in the right place at the right time. What do you got? Give us something to show off this Voice from Heaven.
I'm going to do a little Sheryl Crow. This is Steve McQueen. Speaking of cars and going fast, man. That's one of my favorite songs ever. So let's go for that.
All right. Let's do it.
Well, I went to bed in Memphis and I woke up in Hollywood. I got a quarter in my pocket and I'd call you if I could, but I don't know why. I gotta fly. I wanna rock and roll this party. I still wanna have some fun. I wanna leave you feeling breathless. Show you how the West was won. But I gotta fly. I gotta fly. Like Steve McQueen. All I need's a fast machine, and I'm gonna make it alright. Like Steve McQueen, underneath your radar screen, you'll never catch me tonight. Ooh, ooh. Well, I ain't taking shit off no one, baby, that was yesterday. I'm an all-American rebel, making my big getaway. Yeah, you know it's time. I gotta fly. Like Steve McQueen, all I need's a fast machine, and I'm gonna make it alright. Like Steve McQueen, underneath your radar screen, you'll never catch me tonight. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Yay.
Molly Brown.
Molly
Brown.
Brown.
Adam, what you got?
Wow.
That's Steve McQueen, baby. 68 390 fastback.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
car.
awesome. That's awesome. So we've seen, so far we've had some magic. We had some unbelievable magic, car magic. We had some music magic. And now we're going to go to just pure, like, human miracle story. We have a very special guest who I want to bring in, Herbert. We're going to be bringing in Dash. How do you pronounce the middle name, G-Dub?
Well, this whole time I thought it was Dong, but apparently it's Dwong. I'm not sure. I've been calling him the Donger.
All right, you got to hear this. Adam, if you have a moment to stick around to listen to this story, you got to hear Dash's story of how incredible he is. Dash Dong Wong, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, everyone.
Everyone,
All right,
welcome, Dash.
So, all right, Dash. No, like anytime that I hear your story, it's like no way is that true. I want to hear your story. How did you get your name? What is the origin story of the superhero Dash Dong Wong?
I don't know if it's a superhero story, but I was born and raised in Hawaii and kind of up through some tough times, and I kind of got nicknamed in the hospital when my parents left, and there was a one line on my birth certificate, so the nickname came up as Dash. And when I got reunited with my mom, we kind of just kept it. So
in the hospital, you were abandoned?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so he's abandoned in the hospital. On the birth certificate, it just has a dash. So you get the nickname of Dash. And a lot of people would be like, oh my God, completely traumatized. And you are one of the most positive, amazing human beings ever. You were out at Park City when just a few months ago. Tell some people about the things that you've done, because you are genuinely an amazing human being.
Oh man. Blush. Well, so I was born and raised in Hawaii. I was homeless for most of my life and started school in the 5th grade. Got adopted by an Asian family, hence the name Dash Dong Wong. And they were pretty awesome to me. When I turned 17, I decided to join the Navy and became a Special Forces SWCC operator. So basically my job was to drive Navy SEALs around in Green Berets on high-speed boats and take them on the target. fast track. I did that for about 16 years, and then I ended up getting diagnosed with lung cancer. So my new nickname became the One Lung Dong Wong, because they ended up taking out my right lung.
And a lot of syllables.
One Lung Dong Wong.
A lot of syllables there.
One Lung Dong Wong. And
I would order it.
so Dash, when you were out here in Park City and we were all sitting around talking about COVID, what ended up happening? Anything?
Yeah, it was super crappy, but yeah, we're kind of talking about it like, is this a real thing? Is what's going on? And I think it's just a flu bug. And once I flew back to Colorado after that trip, that Friday, I ended up getting like these really bad, like, you know, right before you get a cold, your immune system shuts down and you kind of get lethargic. Well, I ended up getting the darn virus. So yeah, it was pretty intense because I've only got one lung. My O2 saturations dropped to 70%, and I was in pretty rough shape. But yeah.
When they said the virus was particularly harsh on people who were, immune compromised, having one lung qualifies as that.
Yes,
a little bit.
You know was awesome, and actually something that you, John, said in Park City. We're having a conversation about adversity and perseverance and kind of striving above obstacles, kind of like how guys go through BUD/S or special forces training. And it rang true into my brain the entire time I was going through this virus. And you said, you know, a lot of the guys, the champions that make it, have no other choice. There's no other out for them. It's kind of the path that they have to go through. And it's not like, well, if this doesn't work out, I've always got something else. And when I had the virus, I was like, got one lung, I'm alive, I'm just gonna crush it. I got no other option. I'm just gotta survive. I got 2 kids and a wife, and I'm just gonna do this thing. And so yeah, we did it, and I'm back. I'm still alive.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Hey, John, I've got a theory.
I'm sorry. Go.
No, go ahead. I've got a theory
Adam
on
is
all this.
excited.
I've got a theory on all this. I think millennials these days have something I refer to as oppression FOMO. It's fear of missing out on all the oppression that's happening. Like their lives have been so easy and they haven't faced any real adversity that they feel left out of the oppression game. Like I wasn't homeless. It's like for internet clout or some shit. I don't know what it is, but everybody needs to get in on the act. But people that have actually been through stuff you develop conflict resolution and coping mechanisms, which is like a huge part of life, right? So all these participation trophies in Little League, done with all that.
Yeah.
Adam,
I don't know your backstory. I don't know your backstory, but I don't know if you were abandoned in a hospital. Not sure if you were homeless.
Not even close, John. This man has been through hell and back. He served America. He was abandoned in a hospital. He's got one lung and they came after that. I get cranky if I miss lunch. Okay? God bless you, Dash. You and your family.
Dash, your kids can never slack on anything. People have these stories like, I had to walk to school, I do this. You're like, I was abandoned at day one. I was home alone day one. Next thing you know, I end up with one lung. I get adopted in a family. I was homeless for years. Then I got the coronavirus. I had to fight it with one lung. You've got the ultimate survival story. They can't slack one day in their life.
Yeah.
Dash, you know what? You might have one lung, but you got some set of balls, pal. I'm glad I hung around to hear your story.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I gotta go, guys. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. Best to you and your families, okay? Everybody be safe.
Bye.
God bless you, Adam. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me, John.
Adam.
All right. Awesome. Listen, I cannot. I think it was a real treat to have Adam here, and it's a real treat to have Dash. Dash, I want to hear how many people. I mean, obviously, you're not walking around with the billboard of your story of like, you know, hey, I had it probably a little bit rougher than you did, and you probably, you're a very humble, nice, positive guy. How many people are just wise asses and like, Wong, how'd you get that name?
Oh man, I've heard it all my life. Yeah, I got a funny story about that in jump school. We were in Marana, where I was going through training, and because my last name's Wong, I'm always last on the roster. So they go through this whole list. There's about 60 of us in the room, 60 students, and all the cadre reading off these names. And you can just see them eyeballing this room. They're like, Dash Dong Wong. And I raise my hand. I'm like, yep, present. They're like, you've got to be shitting me. We spent the entire time looking at this room for an Asian dude, and you stand up? This is bullshit.
That is amazing. That's unbelievable.
I salute your name from a Johnson to a Wong.
The jokes get better because I mean, all throughout my career, they're like, two Wongs don't make a white, but in your case they did, or two whites made a Wong. They couldn't figure it out, and I was like, dude, I'm confused. I have no idea what's going on.
If loving you is Wong, I want to be right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Dan, you served this country. I mean, I don't think that you've met Dash before. He's just like, there are people who are special and there are people who are genuinely, I mean, when you say like, I had a rough life or I had it tough, Dash is the perfect example where I say, look, every time that you think that you've had it bad, there's always somebody else who's had it way worse. I don't know like who's the person that Dash goes, yeah, some other guy's got it worse than I do. Like it's just his story's out of the gate. And he's this amazing, incredible human being who's contributed incredibly to this country and to life.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't remember who I heard say it before, but they were talking about Malala Yousafzai, the Afghan young woman that got shot in the face by the Taliban. And then when she recovered, the first thing she did was write a book about women's education. It wasn't about the Taliban or her hatred for these people or anything. And I can't remember who it was exactly, but somebody said out there somewhere has to be the Michael Jordan of empathy, right? Somebody that just feels everything, but still is able to deal with that on a deep personal level and put out good energy and vibes out to people despite, like, no matter how hard their life gets. And I always respect people like that because I am not that guy. I'm a very curmudgeonly, well, I can't use this much profanity here, but
right.
You know, you can figure it out.
That's incredible. G-Dub, you know Dash a long time now. And you were the guy that was like, look, we got to get Dash on the show. Tell me a little story about how special Dash is.
Well, you know, he, the first time I actually met Dash wasn't too long ago. It was a little over a year ago, but he came, he was right after recovering and leaving the military and recovering from lung cancer and having his lung removed. And he just came to us. He had such an amazing story. We've got to get this guy going and into our fold somehow, because every time he's around, he just kind of breeds this amazing attitude and this positivity. So he ended up, it was his idea. He had a van, a VW bus, and we ended up wrapping it, and it was, you know, the SS Freedom. And he drove that bus around for Killcliff and created a blog and just drove it cross country from stop to stop, interviewing veterans, just doing cool shit. And lived in the van, sold his house, packed up, put the family in, 2 kids, wife, really did it. Like everyone talks about it. He just did it. And then, you know, ended up a year later, 6-8 months, a year later in Colorado, planted roots. And now, you know, he works with us and we couldn't be happier, man. If we had a company full of Dashes, it would be, there'd be nothing better than that. I'd say that.
I'll tell you, you know, Crispy, who we have, you know, Omar Avila, that also is, you know, associated with Killcliff as well, as another human being that, you know, is just amazing. And it's unbelievable to me. Like, just think about the subset of different kinds of people in the world. For, you know, people who have served our country and are willing to go and make the ultimate sacrifice, they definitely are programmed with something that, unfortunately, I would say the average American just can't even fathom at this point. It's like, what? I'm gonna sacrifice what for what? And, you know, as I've gotten to know so many Navy SEALs and so many guys who have served and been willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, all the men and women, there's just this superhero aspect of this humility, of this honor, you know, of always saying, you know, oh, I'm not a hero, but I know other heroes. It's just incredible to me. And if there's ever been a time when we all need to be inspired by real life heroes, it's really honestly people like Dash. And I know, Dash, you're such a humble guy. You're like, oh, I'm not a hero. But to us ordinary people, you are just an amazing hero. You are the kind of person that emanates light in this life.
Jeez. I really appreciate that, guys. But first and foremost, I'm a diehard believer in Christ, and I think he's the reason that I'm here. And I always look to him for guidance and kind of the pathway that I was on. And there's so many times I could have said, why me, or why is this happening? But instead, I always just wondered what's next. Like, how can I turn this situation to something positive? What can I do so that other people can see that it's not that bad? So when I was going through cancer, like, I did post on it, like, this is what lobectomy is like. This is what chest tubes look like. And just trying to put a smile on people's faces, because other people, like, I'm pretty empathetic, but when I see other people smile that are going through adversity because of something that I did, it makes me feel better. And that's kind of been my main goal in life.
Wow. It's just absolutely incredible. Molly Brown, do you have something that's appropriate for us to celebrate this incredible human being?
Yeah, I think I do. Oh man, honestly, like, just being a national songwriter, there are so many amazing songs out there that tribute people exactly like you, who have gone through friggin' hell and back, and somehow just end up on top. And there's kind of no shortage of them, but one that really sticks out is a song written by Jesse Alexander, and it ended up getting in a really, really famous movie with Miley Cyrus, actually. But it's honestly, like, through and through, this song has one of, like, the best representations of endurance and just somebody going through hell and getting out on the other side and being able to be positive, which I really think that you've done, Dash. So I might do a little The Climb for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I am, like, a massive Miley Cyrus fan.
Aren't we all?
Well, I kind of miss, like, country Miley. She was there for a minute. Then she went a little crazy.
Disney Miley.
Disney Miley, man, those were the days. Miley, still with Liam Hemsworth, is also a different era of Miley.
I think I miss her dad more. I'm not sure.
Oh, really? You run into him a lot, actually. He's a great guy. All right, here we go. I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. I gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to love. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Those struggles I'm facing, those chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. I just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing hard.
gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's written on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah, keep on moving, keep climbing, keep faith, baby. It's all about the climb.
Woo!
Wow. That was awesome.
Glad you guys like it. Sorry I had to go a little Disney for you, but oh man, does that ever just wrap it up?
That's powerful. Thank you so much, Molly.
Of course.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Well, listen, we're going to wrap things up for tonight. I want to just go around the horn, just get a closing thought from everybody, because this was, again, another awesome show. We had Vitaly on, we had Adam on, we had Molly on, we had Dash on, had the regular crew. Like, another awesome show. I feel so blessed. G-Dub, you got any parting thoughts?
I'm actually a little choked up, and every time I listen to Dash's story, it just kind of gets me thinking. And then obviously Molly with that song right behind it. It's you know, all light and fluffy and funny, and the end just feels either it was a C or Molly and Dash kind of did that to me. I'm not sure.
Awesome. Dan, any thoughts?
Yeah, just to address your point from a minute ago about, you know, it's almost audacious the way a lot of these people act and like how fervently they defend America no matter how bad things get. And I think it's because we have a unique perspective. The intensity of our experience coupled with the fact that we've seen what real trouble looks like in countries that are far worse off than ours reminds us that America isn't our federal government. It's not, to us, it's not even a geographical location. America is an idea that we as a society have developed over time, that we as the people hold the power, right? And it's a beautiful thing because we get to decide what happens. We get to decide that regardless of who's on either side of you and what they look like and what they believe, we can all do this together, right? And I think that's a very powerful thing. And when it gets stripped down to life and death at that very primal level, no one cares what anybody looks like or what they believe. What we care about is that we're all pulling on the same side of the rope, that we're all shooting in the same direction. And I think that's something that, you know, some countries have attempted before, but I don't think anybody's attempted it at the scale and with the diversity that America has. And that means a lot to us. It really does.
Amazing. Wes, any parting thoughts?
Only that tonight we've seen magic, we've seen beauty, we've seen optimism and kindness, and I think that's what we all need to bring to this world. And remember, look for the beauty, look for the kindness, and most importantly, be kind to your wiener this weekend.
That's right. Molly, I honestly, listen, I cannot tell you how blessed I feel that I get to listen to you. I mean, honestly, you are so incredible, and I cannot thank you enough just for your friendship and your willingness to come on and share your gift with the world. And I'm telling you, the more that we do this and the more that we just continue to get you out there and get everybody to hear your voice, and, you know, I'm telling you, great things. I mean, you have already had a great career. Big, huge things are on the way because you are so magnificent. I cannot thank you enough. Do you have any parting thoughts for tonight?
Thank you, John. That's really, really, really nice of you to say. I'm just a wee up and comer, but I'm doing my best. And certainly an amazing show like this, bringing creative and talented and compassionate and very intelligent people together. Like, that is just the exact path that I want to be on for myself. I just want to thank you guys so much for, you keep including me. I don't know why, but thank you so much for continuing.
Because you rock, and because we can.
because you can, absolutely. And
right.
Wednesday, I'm finally crossing back over the border to the US, going home to Nashville for the first time since the beginning of March. So I'm very, very excited to go home.
That's awesome. Oh, Molly, I please travel safely.
You will.
Dash, you are a newcomer to the show, and I really just want to celebrate you and thank you. I mean, just thank you. Obviously, thank you for your service, but just thank you for being such an amazing human being. And when I met you, you know, and when we got to hang out in Park City, I literally, when I'm like, God, this guy is like the nicest, most positive person on the planet. And then you like learn this backstory that is just so incredible. I don't know how you've stayed so humble. I don't know how you've stayed so positive. I think it's something that we all should aspire to be. I don't think we'll be able to achieve it, but I really appreciate you sharing your gift, your story, your life, and really your light. Any parting thoughts?
Oh man, you guys said so many kind things, and I can't thank you enough to be on the show, and can't thank Killcliff enough for all that they've done for me and my family. One thing that I learned that I kind of want to share with some people, a lot of people that are living in fear, is your challenges in life and your disabilities that are presented in front of you. They don't necessarily make you who you are. It's how you attack them. It's how you go about them. And the one thing that you can always control is your own perspective on things. You can control that. So you can control how you want to see things or how you want things to be played out. And I challenge people to just be the light, share the love, and be compassionate to others, because that goes a heck of a long way, especially in the times that we're in now.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah. Hey, amen to that. I would try to add a closing thought, but I think Dash has said it all. So everyone, please listen to what Dash has said, and let's be kind. Love works. Love, positive energy begets positive energy. So God bless you all, and we will see you here next Friday, same time, same channel. God bless.
Peace.